super companies keep merging, and smaller businesses keep trying harder and harder and changing the way they do business to keep up and survive. And Tim Wasserman, CLO of 28 Strategy Execution, joins us. I like to patronize smaller businesses. They often try harder to please, and maybe this sounds silly, but they feel more like me. What do successful small businesses do that sets them apart?
I think it's really critical for businesses of any size to recognize that unwavering focus on the customer, but I think they really focus on their employees, and they look at how to put meaning into the work that the employees are doing and really help clarify and crystallize why they're in business, which is ultimately for the customer. And that connecting of the dots, if you will, is much easier in a small business for employees to understand. It's a bit more challenging in larger organizations.
We all want money, and we want more money, but that's not the only reason we work. Part of it is what you're talking about, is some job satisfaction, feeling like you're making a difference and contributing, right?
Absolutely. We find that, there's a lot of talk today about millennials as they become a larger and larger portion of the workforce, that millennials want to have more meaning in their work and more contribution in seeing what they do and the difference it makes. But what we're really finding is it's not just a millennial factor anymore. It really is individuals of all ages, of all backgrounds, who really want to see that when they put in that effort that not only they're rewarded for it, but that they are making a difference. So again, the ability to connect the work and for people to understand how they're actually contributing is a very powerful both motivator, and it allows organizations and individuals the ability to stay engaged at a very different level.
I had a boss one time. I was making a small mistake and was never called on it, and one day I said, "Why didn't you mention that?" And he said, "Nobody wants to do a bad job, and you were doing 99% of everything right." He said, "What really ruined, this business radio," he said, "was the hotline. Every time somebody fluffed a word, they would call and come down on them." And he said, overall, everybody here is doing a good job, and I don't want them to be inhibited. I want them to be creative and feel like they're a part of this.
I think it's a powerful, powerful tool for leaders and managers, again, regardless of business side, to allow the individuals to feel like they can take risks. It establishes a level of trust, which sounds like a soft and fluffy concept, but in reality, when we're asking people, if you will, pushing decision-making out to the edges of organizations, we have to create a culture and an environment where people are willing to do the best they can, learn from mistakes if they do make mistakes, but move on versus, a more traditional kind of command and control viewpoint, which suggests there's only one way to do it right, or else face the consequences.
Yeah, and so much of that involves change, and of course, there are trends in everything. What kinds of trends can we expect to see among small businesses next year?
Well, I think that it's very much recognizing that change is a constant, and so the ability to enable your employees, give them the tools, as well as create the environment where they have that ability not only to take those risks, but that they're really learning. So needing to be very hands-on, sharing as much as possible, transparency of why you're in business, how the business makes money, what their contribution is, and working very closely. High touches, as I like to call it, is very critical, particularly in small businesses. If people are interested in more information, they could go to www.strategyx, that's strategyex.com.